Welcome back. Here in Graceville, Florida right now, Governor Rick Scott just getting ready to leave here at the Circle Grill in Graceville. As you can see, quite a crowd around us right now. Here right now with Matt Gaetz. Matt, your dad was a guest on the show just recently, and you've graciously accepted the invitation to do as well. I have to share with you that we are very glad that Jimmy Patronis made the decision that he did. He's a dear friend of ours. We didn't want to see that. Think a lot of you, think a lot of your dad and your family. So we didn't want to see that that come to pass as far as a campaign situation. But congratulations on everything that you're doing. Going forward, what's it look like? What's your district look like right now?
Well, I represent portions of Okaloosa County, and it's a blessing because we have so many folks who've served our country, the military, and just a great group of people. I also think the world of Jimmy Patronis. He's a good friend. He's been a mentor, and I'm going to count on him if I have the chance to serve in the Senate to continue to help me and advise me on issues. But this has been a great day. You've mentioned we've had the governor here with us, and it was a positive, uplifting message about what can happen in our state when we focus on prosperity and job creation, and making sure that we got government that's not creating too many burdens for people. And I think that's why our governor's going to be reelected.
When Great Britain started their austerity program in response to their economic heartburn, a lot of Americans looked at it and say, "Oh, that would never happen here." Unfortunately, nobody likes change, and nobody wants to be in the crosshairs of those fiscal cutbacks. But the fact remains, all of us need to withstand a little bit of that heartburn, or there's not going to be any heartburn to withstand.
Well, it's true, but in Florida, because of this governor's policies, we've actually had an economy that's been growing. We have more revenue for the state this year than we had the prior year because more people have jobs and they're out in the economy actually participating. And so we've been able to do things like give raises to our state workers. And that's something we haven't been able to do for 7 years, but we can do it because we have a growing economy. That's got to be the singular focus.
20 years ago, Florida made a big deal out of saying 1,000 people a day were moving into the state. Obviously, that took a big dip. I understand, as of recent stats, that that's back up to that same number.
It's true. I mean, I first ran for office in 2010, and back then Florida was on the rocks. I mean, we had stagnant growth, declining revenue, and we weren't able to meet the critical needs of our state. But we were disciplined. We weren't like Illinois and New York and California that just kept raising taxes and spending more. We had some humility in government. Now, as a result, we're back to the days where 1,000 people a day are moving to Florida. And if we keep that up, that's more customers, that's more businesses, that's more people that are getting jobs in our state. And if we do that, there's not much in government we can do to screw it up.
We can only hope.
That's right.
The Chinese curse, "May you live in interesting times," seems to have come true for the whole United States. Florida's a diverse state. We've got agriculture, we've got tourism, we've got some manufacturing. At the heart of it all, though, we've got good people, we've got an indomitable spirit, and no matter what happens, it's been cyclical for many, many generations in Florida. Booms and bust, booms and bust. Okaloosa County, what's happening over there right now?
Well, we're very concerned about the changes that the federal government's making in the defense budget, because when the Pentagon gets a cold, we get pneumonia in Okaloosa County and in Bay County, where Tyndall Air Force Base is critically important. And so we want to make sure that we're still committed to our national defense, but we also have to be aware that we have to be nimble. Like you said, as the proverb goes, we live in interesting times, and where the military becomes less of a part of our economy, if that occurs, we have to be ready to step up and make manufacturing more critical. We have to have more high-tech jobs in our area. We have to engage in aerospace, and that's why having the right environment for job creation and job growth in our state is so important.
We are surrounded by tactical and strategic military bases, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard. We kidded with your dad that he represented the wealthy part of Okaloosa County as part of his district. Right now, we are seeing some major disparity between the north and south part of many of these Northwest Florida states.
Sure.
Or counties, rather. The southern parts enjoying tourism and a more robust economy. The agriculturally based northern parts, not so much. Is that what you're seeing in Okaloosa County?
We're seeing it all over, and that's why manufacturing is so important. This last legislative session, we cut taxes for those who would go out and buy manufacturing equipment and create manufacturing jobs in the northern portions of the Panhandle. And that is our best opportunity for growth. I mean, agriculture is there, going to be there. We're still worried about the EPA and some of the crazy things they're doing with nutrient requirements. But if we can have more light manufacturing happening in, Jackson County, Holmes County, Washington County, northern Walton and Okaloosa counties, then that becomes another platform for the economy to continue to take off.
A couple last questions and I'll let you go. A couple of them kind of hot buttons. Number one, gambling within the state. Obviously, we had a referendum in Washington County just a couple of years ago. We approved it. Pam Bondi is holding up that process. What's your stance on gambling?
I'm generally skeptical of more gambling in the state of Florida because I don't know that it grows the economy. Too often, the money that's generated by gambling doesn't even spend the night here in the state of Florida. It gets shipped out to Las Vegas or Asia, and so I'm very skeptical of that. You know, we always try to be open-minded as legislators, but it wouldn't be something today I would support.
And thank you for those thoughts. Last question, offshore drilling. Recently saw a bumper sticker on a big honking SUV at a gas station, ban BP, no offshore drilling, as it took $300 to fill up this SUV with high test. What's your thoughts right now on going forward with the possibility of offshore drilling?
Look, technology continues to change and evolve, and so I don't think you can ever say never to energy exploration of any kind. But the good news in this country is that we are finding more energy than we're ever going to be able to use in North Dakota and Pennsylvania and the Midwest with shale oil. And so I want to see us go after those forms of energy first, and we can become the next Saudi Arabia because we're going to have more energy. I mean, we're going to become one of the largest energy producers on the globe if we go and realize that potential that's in the American Midwest. Let's do that first.
And again, thanks for taking the time today. We enjoyed a nice address from Governor Scott.
That's right.
We wish him well in his upcoming campaign. You as well, especially your campaign in another couple of years. You've got big shoes to fill, and you certainly know that. We think a lot of your dad. Dad's been a great friend to Northwest Florida. I know that you're going to do the same. Thank you again for your time and for your service.
I appreciate it. I look forward to coming and being on the show.
And we look forward to that very soon.
All right, thanks.
Here with State Representative Matt Gaetz right now. Here is a wonderful day for Northwest Florida, certainly for Jackson County, right here in Graceville, Florida. When we come back, we're going to talk to a few more people here. Matt, thank you again for your time.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.